Welcome to our deep dive into the Golan Heights. Today we're going, well, beyond the typical historical overview. We're diving into captivating firsthand accounts and, expert insights to uncover, a deeper understanding of this fascinating region.
It's amazing how the Golan Heights weave together layers of history, culture and conflict. We're going to try to unravel those layers and explore what makes this area so unique.
We'll start with Gamla, often called the Masada of the North, right? It's a
Sure.
site with a dramatic history, especially during the Great Revolt against the Romans. That was
Mm.
in 67 CE.
Yeah. Josephus, the historian, you know him. Well, he described the fall of Gamla, claiming 5,000 people jumped from the cliffs rather than surrender. However, there's archaeologist Shamar Al-Goodman, and he suggests a different, perhaps even more tragic scenario. Given the limited space, Goodman believes the deaths were more likely caused by people being pushed, rolled, and trampled in a desperate attempt to escape.
Oh, wow. That paints a very vivid and heartbreaking picture. But amidst the tragedy, there is an intriguing discovery. Archaeologists found coins in Gamla with the inscription, "For the sake of Jerusalem." Could this indicate a deliberate sacrifice by the residents? To delay the Roman advance on Jerusalem, it's a powerful reminder of the lengths people will go to for their beliefs and their homeland.
It certainly raises intriguing questions about the motivations and mindset of the people of Gamla. Their resistance, even in the face of overwhelming odds, played a significant role in shaping the events of that period.
Now, shifting from the siege to the ancient city itself, Gamla's ruins offer a remarkable glimpse into life during the Roman period. What strikes me is the unusual location, built on the south face of a steep hill. Why is that?
The reason behind this unconventional choice? Well, it lies in the challenges posed by the dense forests on the north face. The south face offered better access and defensibility. And within these ruins, we find a treasure trove of artifacts, like the abundance of Hasmonean coins, with holes punched in them.
Wait, tell me more about these Hasmonean coins. Who are the Hasmoneans, and why would people wear their coins?
The Hasmonean dynasty, they ruled Judea before the Roman conquest. They represented a period of independence and religious freedom, a stark contrast to Roman rule. By wearing these coins, residents of Gamla were expressing their yearning for return to that era. It was a subtle act of defiance against Roman authority.
Wow. Wearing these coins as necklaces, that seems like a poignant act of rebellion. And Gamla reveals even more about life in those times. The synagogue, one of the oldest ever found, and the mikveh, a ritual bath used for purification, provide insights into the religious practices of the Jewish community.
These discoveries offer a fascinating look into daily life and religious customs. And alongside these remnants of daily life, there are also chilling reminders of the siege, catapults, battering rams, testaments to the violence that ultimately consumed Gamla.
It's incredible to think how these artifacts, both mundane and military, have survived for centuries, giving us such tangible connections to the past.
And nearby, there's an ancient monastery that adds another layer to the Golan Heights story, constructed using stones, repurposed from Gamla. It highlights the continuity and resourcefulness across cultures and eras. It shows how these different groups interacted with the same landscape, utilizing the remnants of those who came before them.
That's a great point. It emphasizes how history is built upon the foundations of the past. What's especially fascinating is that the building techniques used by the later Druze builders mirrored those of the original inhabitants, showcasing a surprising cross-cultural exchange of architectural knowledge.
It demonstrates how, even in times of conflict and change, there can be an underlying exchange of knowledge and practices that transcends cultural boundaries. This layering of history, these echoes of the past, are woven into the very fabric of the Golan Heights.
It makes you think about how each generation builds upon the foundations laid by those who came before, both physically and culturally. It's like walking through an open-air museum, where the artifacts are not just objects, but also the very stones and structures around you.
Exactly. And to delve even deeper into that history, we need to travel back in time to the Chalcolithic period, a time when a mysterious people erected unique stone structures known as dolmens across the Golan landscape.
Dolmens, these ancient structures, with their massive stones and capstones, they almost look like doorways to another realm. What was their purpose?
Archaeologist Claire Epstein, a leading expert on this period, dedicated her career to studying these dolmens and concluded that they served as burial grounds, marking a passage to the afterlife.
That makes you wonder about the beliefs and rituals of
Yeah.
these ancient people. Their understanding of death and the afterlife must have been quite different from our own.
It does, doesn't it? And the discoveries in the Golan Heights go even further back in time. We've found prehistoric hand axes, tools virtually unchanged for over 1 million years.
A million years. It's hard to grasp that kind of timescale. What can we learn from these tools that were used for such an incredibly long time?
Imagine using one of these Achillean hand axes to crack open the bones of a mammoth for its marrow. These tools were essential for survival, providing access to vital resources. They represent a testament to the ingenuity and adaptability of our early ancestors.
It's incredible to think about how these simple tools were used for such a long period of time across different cultures and environments.
And it's not just about the tools themselves, it's about the people who used them, the challenges they faced, and the ways they adapted to survive in a harsh and unpredictable world.
It's amazing to think that as you walk through the Golan Heights, you might be stepping on the same ground, where our ancient ancestors once roamed, leaving behind these tiny pieces of flint, some still shiny from oils left behind thousands of years ago.
These seemingly insignificant pieces of flint offer a tangible connection to a prehistoric past. It sparks our imagination and makes us wonder about the lives of those who came before us.
It's like holding a piece of history in your hand, a direct link to the distant past. And these weren't just crude tools. Ancient people used flint blades, like tiny razor blades, to harvest wheat. It makes you think about the connection between those ancient blades and the food we eat today.
It highlights the ingenuity of early humans and the development of agriculture, a pivotal moment in our history. The Golan Heights hold these silent stories, waiting to be unearthed and understood.
It's incredible how seemingly simple artifacts can reveal so much about our shared human history. They provide a window into the past, allowing us to connect with those who came before us.
It's a reminder that the past is never truly gone. It lives on in the objects we find, the stories we tell, and the landscapes we inhabit.
Speaking of stories, let's fast forward to a more recent chapter. In the Golan Heights history, the 1973 Yom Kippur War, the Battle of Tel Saki in particular stands out for its intensity.
The stories from soldiers trapped inside the Tel Saki bunker are harrowing. They speak of claustrophobia, constant fear, and the emotional weight of being under siege. It provides a raw and unfiltered perspective on the realities of war.
One account that particularly struck me was a soldier describing how he almost killed a comrade who was singing in the cramped, dark space. The stress and tension must have been unimaginable.
The psychological impact of war is profound. It can lead to PTSD and long-lasting trauma. These accounts force us to confront the human cost of conflict and the lasting scars it leaves behind.
It's a stark reminder that war is not just about battles and strategies, but also about the individuals who experience its horrors firsthand. Their stories help us understand the true cost of conflict.
And often these conflicts revolve around vital resources, particularly in the Golan Heights. The control of water, a precious commodity, plays a significant role in the strategic importance of this region.
The Golan Heights sit right at the headwaters of the Jordan River. Control over the water supply has been a point of contention between Israel, Syria, and Jordan for decades.
In the early 1960s, the Arab League initiated a project to divert the headwaters of the Jordan River. This project, if successful, would have had a devastating impact on Israel's water supply.
This is where we encounter a surprising historical twist. The company undertaking this project was owned by, get this, none other than Osama bin Laden's father.
It's a fascinating and unexpected connection, but Israeli intelligence, with the help of the legendary spy Eli Cohen, you know that story, managed to uncover the project and prevent its completion.
That's quite a story of espionage and intrigue during the Cold War era. And the Golan Heights continue to be impacted by global events, as we see with the Syrian civil war.
The ripple effects of the Syrian civil war have been profound. Events in Ukraine and the conflict on October 7th created a power vacuum in Syria, ultimately leading to the fall of the Assad regime.
And now a new leader has emerged, Abu Muhammad al-Julani, a figure with deep roots in the Golan Heights. This shift in power dynamics raises many questions about the future of the region.
It's a reminder that even seemingly distant conflicts can have a significant impact on, well, seemingly unrelated regions. The interconnectedness of global events is something we often overlook.
It highlights the importance of understanding global politics and how events in one part of the world can have far-reaching consequences. The Golan Heights, with its strategic location and complex history, is a prime example of this interconnectedness.
It serves as a microcosm of the larger geopolitical landscape, a place where global forces converge and local communities are caught in the crossfire.
It's a reminder that the personal and the political are, well, inextricably intertwined, especially in a region like the Golan Heights.
And that understanding leads us to appreciate the complexities of this region even further. It's not just about ancient ruins and historical battles, but about the people living amidst these ongoing tensions, their stories, and their resilience.
It's amazing how events on the other side of the world, like the war in Ukraine, can have such a dramatic impact on the Golan Heights. It really emphasizes how interconnected our world truly is.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of interconnectedness, the Golan Heights, they're a major migration route for birds. Over 500 million birds pass through every year. Wow. Imagine that. Flocks of eastern buzzards darkening the skies.
Wow, it's hard to even imagine that many birds. I'd love to see it. But sadly, I read that some bird populations, like the vultures, they face serious threats, right? Due to poisoning and habitat loss.
Sadly, that's true. Vultures, they play a crucial role in the ecosystem as nature's cleanup crew, you could say. But their numbers are declining. But there is some good news, Scientists are using GPS trackers and biodetectors, all that stuff, to study their movements and develop conservation strategies.
That's encouraging to hear. It sounds like there's hope for these amazing creatures if we can understand and address the threats they face.
Absolutely. And the efforts to protect vultures, they have broader implications. They contribute to the health of the whole ecosystem. By protecting one species, we often protect many others.
That makes sense. It's all interconnected, just like you said. Shifting gears a bit, I'm curious about how the various cultures and religions that have called the Golan Heights home, how they've influenced the region. We touched upon the ancient synagogues and the monastery near Gamla, but there must be so much more to uncover.
Oh, for sure. The Golan Heights, they've been a crossroads for empires and a melting pot of ideas and beliefs for centuries. We see this in the archaeological remnants, cultural traditions, and even like the architecture of the region.
It's fascinating to think about those layers of cultural influence, each one adding to the rich tapestry of the Golan Heights. Is that cultural exchange, that blending of traditions, is that still evident today?
Absolutely. The Druze communities, for example, have maintained their unique cultural identity. While contributing to the Golan Heights' modern society, it's a testament to the power of coexistence and mutual respect, even in a region marked by conflict.
And we can't forget about the kibbutzim, right? Those communal settlements that played a significant role in shaping Israel's identity. They represent like a unique social experiment and a testament to the pioneers who sought to build a new life in this challenging environment.
Yeah. The kibbutz movement, it's evolved over time, but its legacy continues to shape Israeli society. It's a reminder of the ideals of communal living, cooperation, and a strong connection to the land.
It's incredible to see how all these threads, like history, culture, religion, nature, they come together to create this vibrant tapestry that is the Golan Heights. It makes you realize that this place is about so much more than just its strategic location or its role in various conflicts.
You're right. The Golan Heights are, a microcosm of the human experience, a place where the past and present collide, and the future is constantly being shaped. It's a reminder that every place has a story to tell, a unique set of challenges and triumphs.
That brings us to the present, right? The Golan Heights are still a contested territory, a focal point for regional tensions. It's hard to ignore the impact of these geopolitical realities on the people who live there.
Absolutely. The ongoing conflict between Israel and Syria, the presence of UN peacekeepers, the complexities of border disputes, these are all part of the Golan Heights' modern reality. It's a region where political boundaries often intersect with cultural and historical identities.
How do these geopolitical realities affect the lives of those who call the Golan Heights home? How do they navigate this complex landscape of politics and identity?
That's the question, isn't it? We've heard from soldiers who fought in the Yom Kippur War, but what about the farmers, the families, the everyday people whose lives are shaped by these realities? Their voices are often overlooked in the grand narratives of history and conflict.
Yeah. I imagine their stories are just as important, maybe even more so, in understanding what it means to live in a place where history is constantly being made. Their experiences offer like a ground level perspective on the human cost of conflict and the enduring hope for peace.
Precisely. Their stories provide a window into the complexities of daily life amidst political tensions, the resilience of the human spirit, and the search for peace in a region where conflict has been a constant companion.
It's easy to get caught up in the larger historical narratives, but it's crucial to remember that these stories are ultimately about people's lives.
Absolutely. And it's those personal stories that often reveal the most profound truths about a place. They help us connect with the human dimension of history, conflict, and resilience.
Those Hasmonean coins with holes punched in them come to mind. They weren't just jewelry, but symbols of hope and defiance. Those tiny objects tell a powerful story about the human desire for freedom and self-determination.
And those flint blades, used for millennia to harvest wheat, speak to the ingenuity and adaptability of our ancestors. They remind us that humans have always been resourceful and resilient, finding ways to survive and thrive even in the face of adversity.
It's fascinating how these seemingly insignificant objects can hold such profound meaning. They connect us to the past and remind us that we are part of a much larger story.
It's through those connections, those glimpses into the past, that we can begin to piece together the complex puzzle that is the Golan Heights. And it's a puzzle worth solving, not just for its historical significance, but for the insights it offers into the human condition.
It feels like, wow, we've been on this incredible journey, this whirlwind tour through time and perspective. We've gone from prehistoric hand axes to Cold War espionage, from like ancient ruins to the complexities of modern geopolitics, right? What stands out to you as we kind of reach the end here of our deep dive into the Golan Heights?
Well, it's fascinating, how our exploration of the Golan Heights has, taken us on a journey that's both intellectual and emotional, right? We've learned about history, politics, culture, and nature, but we've also encountered these stories of resilience, hope, and the enduring power of the human spirit.
Yeah. You know what struck me is how the Golan Heights aren't just a place, but like a convergence of narratives. We've heard from soldiers, archaeologists, and everyday people, each adding their own unique voice to the story. Even like ancient coins and prehistoric tools, they kind of whisper their tales. This layered storytelling, is what makes this region so captivating.
That's it. And it's a reminder that history isn't just about facts and dates. It's about the human stories that breathe life into those events. You know what I mean? It's about the choices people made, the challenges they faced, the ways they shaped their world.
Speaking of choices, I'm curious, what's the one thing you'd want our listener to take away from this deep dive? What's that aha moment,
Yeah.
that nugget of insight that you hope will stay with them?
I think for me, it's the realization that the Golan Heights are like a microcosm of the human experience. It's a place where the past and present are constantly in dialogue, where the echoes of ancient conflicts kind of reverberate in modern geopolitics, and where the human spirit, well, it continues to find ways to persevere and create beauty amidst all the challenges.
Wow, that's a powerful takeaway.
Yeah.
It makes you realize that even in a place marked by conflict and, uncertainty, there's always room for hope, resilience,
Yeah.
and the possibility of a better future.
Absolutely. And it underscores the importance of understanding history, not just as a collection of facts, but as a guide to navigating the present and shaping the future.
As we wrap up here, what advice would you give to our listener who wants to, delve deeper into this topic? Where should they go to continue their exploration of the Golan Heights?
Well, I'd say for starters, check out the show notes for this episode. We've included links to some fantastic books, articles, websites. They offer a deeper dive into the history, culture, and, natural wonders of the region.
And, don't underestimate the power of firsthand experience. If you ever get the chance to visit the Golan Heights, go. Walk in the footsteps of history. Feel the weight of the past beneath your feet. And experience the unique energy of this, well, extraordinary place.
I couldn't agree more. There's something truly special about experiencing a place firsthand, about connecting with its history, its people, and its landscapes on a personal level.
It's about immersing yourself in the environment, talking to the people, and absorbing the atmosphere. It's about going beyond the textbooks and tourist brochures to create your own personal connection with the Golan Heights.
And as you explore, remember the lessons we've uncovered in our deep dive. Look for the connections, the echoes of the past and the present. Listen to the voices of those who call this place home. And, most importantly, approach your journey with an open mind and a curious heart.
Those are words to live by, not just when exploring the Golan Heights, but like when approaching any new experience, right? It's about embracing curiosity, seeking understanding, and recognizing the interconnectedness of our world and the human experience.
And it's about appreciating the beauty and complexity of the world around us, acknowledging the challenges we face, and finding inspiration in the resilience of the human spirit.
Well said. And on that note, I want to thank you, our listener, for joining us on this deep dive into the Golan Heights. We hope you've enjoyed the journey as much as we have.
It's been a pleasure sharing our insights and perspectives with you. We hope this exploration has sparked your curiosity, expanded your understanding of this fascinating region, and left you with a sense of wonder and appreciation for the enduring power of the human spirit.
Remember, there's always more to learn, more to discover, and more to understand. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep seeking out those aha moments that make life so endlessly fascinating.
Until next time, happy exploring.